Yo, so LaShawn McCoy and Desean Jackson absolutely obliterate Chip Curley. You know, they tell some stories that a lot of people in the media, just aren't privy to. You know what I mean? We often wondered as Philadelphia Eagles fans how that team, which we all thought was a super team, a team that could contend, how it all collapsed just so fast. You know what I mean? LaShawn McCoy around that time was all-pro, arguably the best back in the league. Desean Jackson was the best deep threat in the league. You had Jeremy Maclin, Brent Selleck, Jason Peters, Mike Vick, Nick Foles on the bench, a young Nick Foles who will ultimately resurface and come back to help the Philadelphia Eagles win their first championship. Brandon Graham. You had some studs on that team. And, what happened? They talk about a lot of disconnects, some of it being geared around, Chip Kelly not understanding how to deal with players from different cultural backgrounds, black guys, you know what I mean? Just not knowing how to deal with it, man. I was blown away by this, man, by their honesty and their openness. You know what I mean? So let's get into some of the things that I thought were just outrageous during this interview, man. I want you guys to definitely go check it out. Eagles fans, you know what I mean? So be something good to listen to for a good, nice little, I think it was about an hour. Definitely check this one out. The first one is, they talk about a time where Chip Kelly allegedly made Michael Vick cry.
Do you remember
We have a lot of plays.
Do you remember that time he made Michael Vick cry?
Bro. And Mike is, listen, not to even say anything bad about Mike, but Mike's been through it all, right?
Yeah.
And I remember he's saying, bro, I cried more with dealing with Chip Kelly and the Eagles, bro, than I did in prison.
You know what I mean? And Michael Vick saying something on the lines to Desean Jackson, I believe, that Chip Kelly made him cry more than he did in jail. And that's just crazy, man. That's just like the tip of the iceberg, man. And, it's crazy, man. Like, what could this guy have done? What could he have done? They also talk about him coming to the organization and not treating guys like pros.
Since day one, I'm like, this not gonna merge right? So then it comes on later on. So we in a meeting. He starts saying, "Oh, y'all gotta wear heart monitors. Y'all gotta pee in the cup to see how hydrated. Y'all gotta put a sleep monitor on at nighttime." Bro, we going out, we having fun. You trying to tell me you trying to control how much we sleeping, how much water we drinking? Like, you putting we was like a guinea pig. It was like we was back at college, and it was like he was nitpicking at every little thing, right? So I'm like, bro, I'm a Pro Bowler, and I say no disrespect to you, bro, but I'm not doing all this. So
wow. Like this isn't college. He didn't understand that, and that's one of the drawbacks of bringing in a college guy, for real. Bringing in a college guy, they don't know how to operate around guys that's millionaires. They don't know how to operate around guys who've just secured generational wealth. You're not dealing with kids anymore, man. They talk about Chip Kelly, telling guys to, not listen to music out loud, not say the words to the music, telling guys that they can't drive their own cars to the game, that they have to catch the bus. He went as far as to even say Shady had to wear black socks. Everybody got to wear white socks. I'm sorry. No black socks at practice. Like, what? Some of this stuff just doesn't even make sense. But, these are, coaches can be a little pesterous like that. You would think every coach has their thing of how they want to operate a football team. But when you get to some of these other issues that D. Jackson Shady talked about, like, for one, telling one African-American player that he wanted them to change his appearance.
Do you remember the cornerback? I forget his name. Black dude had a crazy nappy head, right? That was his thing. His hair he never brushed that shit.
Maxwell, right.
His, Mark Carmichael, something like that. He went to Virginia Tech as a cornerback.
Yeah.
True story. Chip calls him in the office. Now, he's going to talk to him because he's not a big player. He calls him in the office, right? And he says, now this kid is a good kid, smart. He's dark as night, right? Black kid. Hair's always nappy, right? That's his look.
Right.
He tells him in the meeting, yo, I want you to be more presentable. He says, what do you mean be more presentable? I want you to, cut your hair, man. Get a look like, like maybe like a Shady's haircut, or he telling the man to cut his hair. We in the pros, this ain't college. Mm-hmm. The dude came, how I know the story, because he came down to me like, yo, man, can you believe Chip told me he want to be more presentable, cut my hair, this, and that, and the third.
Yeah, that was crazy.
He's uncomfortable, bro, with working with black players. That's a prime example.
That's crazy to me. telling the guy you want him to change his appearance and have a certain haircut or whatever the case may be, it's you know, not only are you pushing the line, but what you're doing is you're being disrespectful because everybody everybody has their own way of doing things. You know, they talk about Chip Kelly not wanting to directly interact with some of the stars. You know, all the stars were black. Is no secret there. Not want to interact with none of the stars at all. He would send an assistant to interact with some of the stars. You know, they talked about the infamous Riley Cooper incident, you know, where Riley Cooper said the N-word at a nightclub or whatever the case may be. And, you know, the way Chip Kelly handled it, I thought was, you know, crazy.
I have so many different scenarios I was part of with Chip Kelly when I felt like he wasn't comfortable with black players. Like even the one time with Riley Cooper. Now, so many different things happen, and Cooper has a thing where he says he's at a concert, right, him and his boys, and he says a black security guard, "I'll kick all you niggers' asses," right? Yeah. That went everywhere, it went viral. Yeah. And I remember Chip had a meeting the next day. He brought Riley Cooper in there, and Cooper said he's sorry, whatever. And then Coop was excused for like, I don't know if you remember this, for like 2-3 weeks. Yeah. You didn't even see him. It was like a week. Let's say a week. Yeah. You didn't even see him. So a lot of players that we got great relationships with, I had a great relationship with Coop, right? I'm like, ain't no way he racist. Right. Been in with this dude, ate lunch with him. But I wanted to talk to him. Yeah. Chip made it so nobody could speak to him. Nobody could even talk to him. And I'm thinking like, how does that even happen? You made it, you say all this and that, and you just say sorry and you leave and nothing ever talked about it. Right. When he comes back to the team, I think Jason Peters checked him about something, was trying to talk to him about it. Yeah. Chip came in the middle of it. He wouldn't let him talk about it. So I was like, he hid that whole thing from us, where everything else you want to talk about.
Chip Kelly handled it by isolating Riley Cooper. You know, got him out of the facility for a week or so. You know, that's standard practice. But when Riley Cooper came back, he protected him. He didn't let any players address him. Didn't let any players understand why. You know what I mean? That's something that he would say out of his mouth. Chip Kelly banned people from basically talking to Riley Cooper for a while. You know what I mean? And you know, I just want you guys to understand the importance of culture, the importance of Nick Sirianni. You know, all this interview did was make me ultimately realize how important Nick Sirianni is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people want to know what Nick Sirianni's role is. Well, his role is to be, you know what I'm saying, a compassionate listener. Because you got coaches like Chip Kelly who don't understand that if somebody close to you died, you got to go to that funeral. Shady talked about that. Chip had a problem with him going to a funeral. You know what I'm saying? You got coaches who tell other coaches changes you should make. But then you got coaches who walk up to you and tell you themselves, head coaches, I should say. You know what I mean? It's no secret that Chip Kelly didn't have a losing season with the Philadelphia Eagles, but he also didn't last very long with the Philadelphia Eagles. There was a cultural disconnect. There's a disconnect there. You know, he didn't want to get on the level of understanding that people come from different places and people come from different backgrounds. He didn't like it. He couldn't understand it. He couldn't understand the league because that's what the league is. The league is a mashup of people from different backgrounds, different religions, different walks of life. You got to have a coach that's in tune and in step with that. We endured some bad seasons after we fired Chip Kelly, trying to find our way back to this point right here. So you know what I mean? Check out the interview, man. They got with him. They let him know, they you know how they really felt. You know what I'm saying? And it's interesting to hear both perspectives because D-Jack is like, oh, the offense, he in college, he was like that. Shady was like, nah, you can't let Andy Reid go for somebody out of college. You know what I mean? So they kept it honest. They kept it they kept it G. You know what I'm saying? They didn't listen, you can't belittle nobody if you're talking about your own experiences. You know what I mean? I would assume everything they're saying is true, so they ain't belittling them. They just talking about their experiences. And you know, this coming from two Eagles greats. So as Eagles fans, we definitely got to appreciate where we are with our head coach, man. Let me know what you think in the comments, man.